Shri Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Śrīla Gurudeva ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Vishnu Parashatarashatashmat Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Vishnu Parashatarashatashmat Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Vishnu Parashatarashatashmat Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Vishnu Vishnu Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Mahapalva Shila Bhakshvaras Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupana Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhattaraguna Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadashaguna Shar Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandadi Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Shri Hairas Thakur ki jai. Tekoho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandal Gaura Mandal Vrajamandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki jai. Shri Amuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭami Titi ki jai. Shri Krishna Kanhaiya ki jai. Krishna Avirvav Titi ki jai. Shri Nanda Baba Yashoda Maya ki jai. Shri Raseshwari Vrishabhanunandini Shrimati Radha Thakurani ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan ki jai. Shri Dao Baya ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hari Bo Dandavat Pranams. So, I wanted to read from this book, Krishna Lord of Sweetness, but I've been having a difficult time finding a PDF for it. I've been searching all over for it and I just can't find it. So, yeah, I thought maybe we could read from Secret Truths of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the beginning of that book, my Gurudev goes through many different reasons why Krishna appeared. So, let's do Mangalacharan first. So, one second, let me. Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namane. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Itadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Yam Prabrajantam Anupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Viraha Katara Ajuhava Putreti Tanmayataya Taravo Bhinedu Stang Sarva Bhutta Hridayam Munimanatosmi Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Shrinvatang Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridantasto Yabhadrani Vedhunoti Suhrit Satam
Nashta prayashvabhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya radhe tvam nayamam charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay क्षिप्ताष्टकामादितराङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वं शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दं भज श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये जयतं सुरतोपंगोर्मम मंदमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदं भुजो राधामादनमोहन देव्याद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमदा श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद् राधा शीलगोविन्ददेवो पृष्ठालभिसेवमानो स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भि वंशिवाटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनिर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तुना हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे All right, so let's just sing who's all there. Dandavat pranams Madhavi Didi, Ganga Didi, Raseshwari Mataji, Gargaraji, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantra Murti Mataji. I think it's on Facebook. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Ganga Didi, Rup Manjari. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Haribol. So yeah, I'm a bit late today because, I came from the temple just when it was time to start reading. And then I had a difficult time. Well, I wasn't able to find this book, Krishna, Lord of Sweetness, where my Śrīla Gurudeva tells the story very sweetly of Krishna's appearance. But I thought we could read this. And actually, let's go to purebhakti.com and maybe we can go through the program what my Śrīla Gurudeva do in Mathura, in Keshavji Gaudiya Math. So let's look at this one. Okay. So Śrī Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭami. Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Narayan. This is in Mathura Keshavji Gaudiya Math on August 31st, 2002. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj held his Janmāṣṭami celebration at Śrī Kṛṣṇa Gaudiya Math in Mathura. After Mangalarti, bhajans proceeded as usual, with a special emphasis on those bhajans glorifying Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj entered the temple at around 6:30 a.m. and began his Hindi class, wherein he explained the deep meanings of various bhajans. The translation of his class was kindly given by Uttam Krishna Brahmachari. So, after Srila Maharaj led the devotees in singing Śrī Nanda Nandanashtakam, he explained that this song is the glorification of Krishna. Hearing this song pleases him, but he is most pleased when the devotee worships and glorifies those who are most dear to him. If one glorifies the pastimes such as those found in Sri Ujjvala Nilamani and other Goswami literatures, wherein Krishna bows his head at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, Krishna will be most pleased. Srila Maharaj said that if we really want to please Krishna, we should sing Radha Kripa Kataksha Stavaraj, which is a glorification of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, this song, Śrī Nanda Nandanashtakam, which indicates the glorification of Krishna, gives more pleasure to Sri Radha. Srila Maharaj then led the devotees in singing Srimati Radharani's stotram, Shri Radha Kripa Kataksha Stavaraj. So let's sing that. Let's sing Nanda Nandanashtakam, and then we can go through Radha and sing Radha Kripa Kataksha Stavaraj, following in my Śrīla Gurudev's footsteps. So let me just open this up. Where is it? Nanda Nandanash. Okay, I'm going to just make the text big. Alright. 1 second, just getting my mridanga. Hey, what happened? Okay, I'll read the translation first and then we can sing. His round face is so lovely. His beautiful ears are adorned with hanging earrings, and his body is nicely anointed with fragrant sandalwood paste. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandan. His eyes are elongated like lotuses. Peacock feathers adorn his head, and he enchants millions of cupids. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandan. From the tip of his beautiful nose hangs an elephant pearl. His rows of teeth shine naturally like pearls, and his bodily complexion shines like a fresh rain cloud. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandan. His hands are adorned with a flute. His majestic gait excels that of the king of elephants, and he is beautified by fine yellow garments. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandan. His threefold bending form is most beautiful. His nails glow like the moon, and he is adorned by priceless gems. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandana. His body exudes an extraordinary enchanting fragrance. Upon his broad chest, the Kaustuba gem shines, along with the mark of Sri Vatsa. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandana. He is Vrindavan's expert paramour, who dresses in a manner to enhance his charming, playful pastimes, and who liberates Indra from his pride. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandana. The exquisite lover of the damsels of Vraj always bestows happiness upon all living entities and enchants their minds. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandana. Whoever with faith recites these 8 verses glorifying the son of Nanda will easily conquer the insurmountable ocean of material existence and attain shelter at his 2 lotus feet. Sucharu Vaktramandalam Sukarnaratna Kundalam Sucharchitanga Chandanam Namami Nandanandanam Sudirganetra Pankajam Shikandamurtajam Ananga Koti Mohanam Namami Nandanandanam Sunasikagramotikam Swachandadantapanktikam Navambudam Gachikanam Anamami Nandanandanam Karena Venuranjitam Gati Karendra Ganjitam Dukulakita Shobhanam Namami Nandanandanam Tribangadeha Sundaram Nakhadyute Sudakaram Amulya Ratnam Bhushanam Namami Nandanandanam Sugandhayanga Saurabhamuru Viraji Kostubam Spurachrivatsalanchanam. Let me do that again. Spurachrivatsalanchanam Namami Nandanandanam Vrindavana Sunagaram Vilasanugavasasam Surendra Karva Mochanam Namami Nandanandanam Prajangana Sunayakam Sada Sukha Pradayakam Jaganmana Pralobanam Namami Nandanandanam Shinandanandanashtakam Patedya Shadayan Pita Taret Bhavaktim Dustaram Labhetaram Griyumakam Namami Nandanandanam Namami Nandanandanam Namami Nandanandanam Namami Nandanandanam Oh Namami Nandanandanam Namami Nandanandanam. Okay, so my Gurudev explained that my Gurudev said that hearing this song Nandanandanashtakam pleases Krishna, but he is most pleased when the devotee glorifies and worships. When the devotees glorify and worship those who are most dear to him. If one glorifies the pastimes such as those found in Sri Ujjvala Nilamani and other Goswami scriptures, wherein Sri Krishna bows his head at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, Krishna will be most pleased. So there's a verse that even describes. Anyways, Srila Maharaj said that if we really want to please Krishna, we should sing Shri Radha Kripa Kataksha Stavaraj, which is the glorification of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, this song Nandanandanashtakam, which indicates the glorification of Krishna, gives more pleasure to Shri Radha. So then Srila Maharaj led the devotees in singing Srimati Radharani's stotrams Shri Radha Kripa Kataksha Stavaraj, after which he explained the verses in this bhajan are just like mantras. Each verse is also a mantra. This bhajan is just like a desire tree. It can fulfill all of our desires. So let's sing this. Radha Kripa Kataksha Stavaraj. Well, let's just finish this actually. Every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is also a mantra, and one can attain siddhi, perfection, from each of them. These verses can fulfill even the topmost desire, but unfortunately, we have no faith in this. We are chanting the Mahamantra, and we have no faith in it. But this and all other mantras are truly kalpa vriksha, they are desire trees. Every shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam is like kamadhenus, who can fulfill all one's desires. Cows, Goloka Vrindavan, who can fulfill all one's desires. Not only one kamadhenu, each shloka can be compared to millions of kamadhenus. So let's sing this ashtakam, and then we'll continue reading my Gurudev's glorification of this. Not ashtakam, the stotra. 1 second, let me just making it bigger. There. I'll read the translation first. O Srimati Radhika, who are glorified by great sages, O you who dispel the lamentation of the three worlds, whose lotus face blossoms with a humorous smile, and who sports in the kunjas, O beloved daughter of King Vrishabhanu, O most near and dear to the son of the king of Raj, when will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you who are present in a pavilion made of creepers that are entwined around ashoka trees, whose beautiful tender reddish feet have the luster of coral and newly sprouting reddish leaves, and whose raised hand grants benedictions and fearlessness. O abode of infinite opulence, when will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? In this class, my Gurudev he begins explaining this verse. This is one of, I think, his favorite verses from here. Because he also quotes this verse in Damodarashtakam and other places I've heard him quote it. O you who, on the stage of amorous sports, in the course of an auspicious discussion, express amazement by curving your eyebrows like bows, and then suddenly firing the arrows of your sidelong glances, piercing the son of Sri Nanda with amorous delusion, and bringing him under your perpetual control. When will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? Just something, in Sanskrit, to make something in the vocative case, like "oh you," "oh Radha," "oh Krishna," you change the ends to "e." So, like, Radha is the name of Srimati Radhika, but if you say Radhe, it means you're calling out there. It means "oh Radha." So you'll notice that in this Radha Kripa Kataksha Stavaraj, each part ends with an A at the end, so it means it's calling out to her. Oh, you who are blah, 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 blah. See, that's why it says Lochane, Mandale, Vigrahe. Like if it was just saying Gora Vigraha, and it's saying Gora Mandala and Lochana like that, then it would mean, she is this, and she is that, and she is this. But this is actually like directly calling out to Srimati Radhika. O you, whose radiant and fair form resembles lightning, gold, and champak flowers, whose lotus space defeats the splendor of the effulgence of millions of autumnal moons, and whose eyes, restless like those of a young chikora bird, make various astonishing expressions at each moment. When will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you who are intoxicated by your youthfulness, who are decorated with the delightful ornament of sulky anger, who revels in your lover's attachment to you, and who are extremely proficient in the art of loving affairs. O you who are the most learned in knowledge of loving sports within the realm of your confidential, auspicious forest groves, when will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you who are decorated with the ornaments of Anubhav, such as Hava and Bhava, and a diamond necklace of gentleness and gravity, whose breasts are like water pots made of pure gold, and which resemble the twin mounds on the head of an elephant. O you whose glorious gentle smile is like an ocean full of bliss, when will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you whose arms are like the tender stems of a lotus swaying in the water's waves, whose glance from blue eyes resembles the tips of creepers dancing in the breeze, who allure Man Mohan to follow you, and upon meeting him, steal away his mind and give him shelter in his state of enchantment. When will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? Man Mohan means he who enchants everybody's hearts, everybody's minds. But Srimati Radhika, she steals away his mind. She steals away he who steals away everyone's mind. O you whose neck is marked with three lines like a conch shell, and is adorned with golden necklaces and an auspicious Trisutra, which is glowing with three kinds of brilliant gems. And a Trisutra is a Mangala Sutra is a special necklace worn by married girls for auspiciousness. O you whose bluish-black tresses, interwoven in a braid with clusters of flower blossoms, sway to and fro, when will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you from whose rounded hips hangs a wreath of excellent flowers, on whose charming slender waist a sublime belt of tiny bejeweled bells sweetly rings, and whose beautiful thighs taper like the sloping trunk of the king of elephants. When will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you whose ankle bells, sweetly resounding with a host of Vedic mantras, resemble the warbling of a flock of royal swans, and whose beautiful gait mocks the movement of a swaying golden creeper, will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you who are worshipped by Lakshmi Devi, the mistress of unlimited Vaikuntha planets, and who bestows benedictions upon Sri Parvati, Indrani, and Saraswati, even one of the nails of your lotus feet gives rise to an infinite variety of spiritual perfections. Oh, when will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O mistress of all kinds of sacrifices, of all activities, of the mantras uttered during yajna, of all the gods, of the teachings of the three Vedas, of the enforcement of all scriptural principles, of the goddess of fortune, of forgiveness, and of the delightful forest of Vrindavan, O mistress and empress of Vraj, O Srimati Radhika, I offer my pranam unto you. O daughter of Vrishabhanu, upon hearing this wonderful prayer, please make me qualified to perpetually receive your merciful sidelong glance. By your mercy, my three types of karma will be destroyed, and at that moment I will enter the circle of the son of the king of Braj and his dearmost Sakis. This is spoken by Lord Shiva in the Urdhvamnaya Tantra. वृन्दवन्दिते त्रिलोकशोकहारिणे प्रसन्नवक्त्रपङ्कजे निकुञ्जभुविलासिनि व्रजेन्द्रभानु नन्दिनी व्रजेन्द्रसूनुसङ्गते कदा करिष्यसि मम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनम् अशोकवृक्षवल्लरी पितानमन्दपसिते प्रबालबालपलव प्रभारुणाङ्घ्रिकोमले पराभयस्फुरत्करे प्रभुत्त सम्पदालये कदा करिष्यसि मम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनम् अनङ्गरङ्गमङ्गल प्रसङ्गबङ्गुरभ्रुवं सविभ्रमं सम्भ्रमं त्रिगन्तबाणपतनै निरन्तरं वशीकृत प्रतीतिनन्दनन्दने कदा करिष्यसि मम कृपाकटाक्षभजनं तरे सुवर्णचम्पक प्रदीप्तगौरविग्रहे मुखप्रभापरास्तकोटिशारदेन्दुमण्डले विचित्रचित्रसञ्चरचकोरशावलोचने कदा करिष्यसि मम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनं मदोन्मदाति यौवने प्रमोरमानमण्डिते प्रियानुरागरञ्जिते कलाविलासपण्डिते अनन्यधान्य कुञ्जराजकामकेलिकोविदे कदा करिष्यसि मम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनम् अशेषहावभावधीरहिरहारभूषिते प्रभूतशातकुम्भकुम्भकुम्भिकुम्भसुस्तनि प्रशस्तमन्दहास्यचूर्णपूर्णसौख्यसागरे कदा करिष्यसि मम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनम् मृणालवल्लरी तरङ्गरङ्गदोलते लताग्रलास्यलोलनीला लोचनावलोकने लालालुलान् नीलान् मनोज्ञमोग्धमोहनाश्रिते कदा करिष्यसि मम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनम् सुवर्णमालिकाञ्चित त्रिरेककम्बुकाण्ठगे त्रिसूत्रमाङ्गलीपुन त्रिरत्नदीप्तिदीप्ति सलोलनीलकुन्तलप्रसून कुचगुम्फिते कदा करिष्यसि मम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनम् नितम्बबिम्बलम्भमान पुष्पमेकलागुणे प्रशस्तरत्नकिङ्किणि कलापमध्यमञ्जुले करीन्द्रशोन्ददान्तिकवरोह स्वगोरुके कदा करिष्यसि मम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनम् अनेकमन्त्रनारमञ्जु नुपुररभस्कलत् समाजराजहंसवंश निपनाति गौरवे विलोलहेमवल्लरी विडम्बि चारुचक्रमे कदा करिष्यसि मम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनम् अनन्तकोटिविष्णुलोक नम्रपद्मजार्चिते हेमाद्रिजा पुलोमज virincha javara prade apara siddhi riddhi digda sat padanguli nake kada karishasi hamam kripa kataksha bhajanam Makeshwari Kriyeshwari Sareshwari Sureshwari Triveda Bharatishwari Pramana Shashaneshwari Rameshwari Shameshwari Pramodakananeshwari Rajeshwari Rajadipe Shiradike Namostute Himamarbhutam stavam nishamya vanurandini karotu santatam janam kripa kataksha bhajanam pavittadaiva sanchita tirupa karma nashanam pavittada prajendra suna mandala praveshana kada karishasi hama kripa kataksha bhajana. So my Gurudev goes, he explains every verse in this is like a mantra. And it's just like a desire tree, this Radha Kripa Kataksha Savaraj. It can fulfill all of our desires. Each sloka is like a kamadhenu. Then Ananga Ranga Mangala Prasanga Bangura Bhuvam. In the immensely auspicious drama enacted with loving playfulness on the amorous battlefield, your eyebrows curving like bows suddenly unleash the arrows of your sidelong glances, piercing Nanda Nandan with amorous delusion and bringing him under your perpetual control, bringing him under reverential submission. In this verse, every word describes the moods of Shrimati Radharani, and especially her topmost moods of Madanakya Mahabhav. These moods can be understood only by the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas, and also by those who have previous samskars. Ashesha Hava Bhava Dhira Hira Hara Bhushite. You are adorned with all of your various deep emotions, Anurag, Dhira Dhir, Kila Kinchita, etc., for Krishna, which shine on your person like a diamond necklace. Hava is explained in Srila Rupa Goswami's Sri Ujjvala Nilamani. They are gestures of Radharani, such as her sidelong glances towards Krishna, and also the tilting of her head. When she acts in these ways, Krishna becomes completely powerless and begins trembling. Bhav means ecstasies or moods, or a combination of varieties of moods, like as in Kila Kinchit Bhav. And these are also elaborately explained in Sri Ujjvala Nilamani. If one is qualified, he can read Sri Ujjvala Nilamani, but he must do so under the guidance of exalted Vaishnavas. In that way, by the mercy of Guru, he can realize all those moods. These verses can give you the highest perfection. These mantras in Guru are so powerful that by their mercy, they can manifest all transcendental moods and deep meanings in your heart. Unfortunately, however, we have no faith in Guru or the power of the mantras. Nitamba bimba lambhamana pushpame kalagune. Your rounded hips are decorated with dangling flowers and tiny bejeweled bells, hung from the flower belt on your charmingly slender waist. No one can explain the meaning because it is unfathomable, and even Srila Rupa Goswami cannot speak about these hidden truths. In his realized state, he could only write down his realizations in his books. Later, when Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad read them, he began laughing and feeling shyness in his heart. Thus, he was qualified to write a commentary on the verses of Srila Rupa Goswami. We are really very unfortunate. We have the opportunity for this type of wealth, but still we try to collect the wealth of this material world. The bhavs of Srimati Radharani are the most valuable wealth in this world. Anyone who has once tasted this wealth can reject all material wealth. Unfortunately, we are still searching for insignificant material wealth. Right. Then Srila Maharaj then led the devotees in singing Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, and then explains that if you want to please Srimati Radharani, you will have to sing Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. This song especially gives her pleasure. And if you want to please Yugal Kishore, both Radharani and Krishna, you must sing Śrī Gurudeva. This song, which reveals the moods of Srimati Radharani and also of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, gives great pleasure to Yugal Kishore. Okay, so let's sing Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande and then we'll sing Gurudeva. Okay, let's do that. Sing if there's anything. Okay, so let me just open it. Okay. Madhu. There it is. There. Okay. Okay. So, O Krishna, O Deva, I am offering a prayer to you. Kindly place the bee of my mind within the honey of your lotus feet. Although Brahma in full samadhi cannot catch a glimpse of even a ray of the effulgence emanating from the tips of your toenails, still, O Achyuta, having heard the ways of your astonishing mercy, I long to receive your grace. O Madhav, although I do not possess even a sesame seed of bhakti for you, still, since you are the supreme controller, you can make the impossible possible. O Sanatan, because your lotus feet are filled with the most wonderful ras, let the bee of my mind always reside unwaveringly in that nectar, which puts everything else to shame, for they are the essence of all sweetness. All right. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, Mana Manasa Madhukara Arpayane Japada Pankaja Makarande, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, Ayadyapi Samadhisho Vedirapi Pashyati Natavanaka Gramarishim Idame Chame Nishamatavachuta Tarapi Kripan Bhutavechim Idame Chame Nishamatavachuta Tarapi Kripan Bhutavechim gacchati yadapi madhava natvai mamati lamati parameshwarata tarapi tavadika durgata ghatanave datri Krishna deva bhavan Sambande Krishna deva bhavan Vande Ayama Vilodata Yadya Sanatana Kalitar Bhuttara Sabhara Nevasatu Netyame Amrita Nindini Vindana Madhuri Masara Nevasatu Netyame Amrita Nindini Vindana Madhuri Masara Krishna Deva Bhavan Bande Krishna Deva Bhavan Vande Mana Mana Samadhuparam Arpaya Nija Para Pankaja Vande Mana Mana Samadhuparam Arpaya Nija Para Pankaja Makarande Mana Mana Samadhukaram Arpaya Nija Para Pankaja Makarande Krishna Deva Bhavan Vande Krishna Deva Bhavan Vande Oh Krishna Deva Bhavan Vande Krishna Deva Bhavan Vande. So now my Gurudev says, if you want to please Jugal Kishore, both Radharani and Krishna, you must sing Shri Gurudeva. This song, which reveals the moods of Srimati Radharani and also of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, gives great pleasure to Jugal Kishore. The author of this Shri Gurudeva, Shri Radha Mohan Das, is a highly qualified Vaishnava in our Sampradaya. And the last line of his bhajan, he sings, Parama Kinchana Kinchana Naragana Karuna Vitarana Shilam. I hanker to relish the unparalleled pastimes of the greatly munificent Sri Gaurasundar, who distributes mercy in the form of Nam Prem to the supremely fortunate Nishkinchan souls, those whose only possession is love of Krishna. He considers himself to be very akinchana, fallen and worthless, and penniless, right? Kinchana means gold. Akinchana means like he has nothing. He's completely destitute. Although he is very great, still he says, I am akinchan. Kshobita dhurmati radha mohana, namaka nirupamalilam. The fallen and foolish Radha Mohan sings in a mood of great distress. Durmati. Here he says, I am Durmati. I am a very low-minded person. Foolish. Shobita means one whose heart is disturbed. Why is the author's heart now disturbed? Nidhuvana nagari mohita manasa vikatita gargada bhasham. The heart of Krishna in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is thoroughly immersed in Srimati Radhika's Unata Ujjvala Prem. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu now lovingly extols Shri Krishna in a choked voice. I translate this differently a little bit. Anyways, Nidhuvan is one of the topmost forests in Vrindavan, where Jugal Kishore enjoy their sweet pastimes. Srimati Radharani is the Nagari, the heroine of this Nidhuvana Nagari. Here, Krishna Chandra serves Srimati Radharani from the beginning to the end of the night, and still he cannot serve her completely. By remembering this type of pastime, Radha Mohan Das's heart is agitated. This pastime of Nidhuvan is the crown jewel of all pastimes. So let's sing that. Sake kalaya gorum udaram. Let me make the text big. Let's see how he translated it here. Oh, my dear friends, just think about the magnanimous Śrī Gauranga, whose bodily luster rebukes the splendor of gold, and who smashes the pride of Cupid. His curly locks, which defeat the splendor of dark rain clouds, are adorned with malati flowers, surrounded by delighted honeybees. His tilak insults the beauty of the moon, and his attire enchants the whole world. His smile, sweet like honey, allures all embodied beings. His pastimes are filled with unparalleled sentiments of pure love, bhavs. His mind is captivated by the heroine of Nidhuvan, as he utters indecipherable words in a choked voice. It is his nature to distribute mercy to those souls who are utterly destitute, that is, having no wealth other than Krishna and service to him, as well as to those who hanker for material possessions. So both people, even those who desire material possessions, he distributes his mercy to them. His incomparable pastimes have thrown this foolish person named Radha Mohan into confusion. Huh. Okay. Sake akalaya goram daram. Sake kalaya goram daram. Nindita kantika levara agarvita mara kamara asake kalaya goram daram. O madhukara ranjita malati mandita jita ghana kunchita kesham tilaka vinindita shashadara rupaka bhuvana mano Bhuvana Manohara Vesha Osake Kalaya Goram Osake Kalaya Goram Madhu Madhura Smita Lobhita Tanubhedam Anupama Bhava Vilasam Nidhuvana Nagari Mohita Manasa Nidhuvana Nagari Manasa vikatita gargada bhasham vikatita gargada bhasham O Sakhe Akalaya Gauramudara O Sakhe Akalaya Gauramudara O Parama Kinchana Kinchana Naragana Karuna Vitarana Shila Shobhita Durmati Radha Mohana Namaka Niru Kamalila Namaka Nirupamalila Asakhe Kalaya Gauramudara Asakhe Kalaya Gauramudara Nindita Hataka Kanti Kalevara Nindita Hataka Kanti Kalevara Garvita Mara Kamara Garvita Mara Kamara Sake Kalaya Gauramudara Sake Kalaya Gauramudara So then Srila Maharaj then spoke from Brahma Samhita. He began by saying that Brahmaji, the Adi Guru of our Sampradaya, realized his offense to the lotus feet of Govinda after stealing his sakas and their calves. He therefore performed atonement and offered stutis, prayers, unto Govinda's lotus feet. Since the time of Srila Rupa Goswami, no one in our Sampradaya offers prayers or formal worship to Govinda. Bhajami means to do bhajan, but in our Sampradaya, bhajan means something more than that which is described in Brahma Samhita. The Acharyas in our Gaudiya Sampradaya worship Govinda in this mood. He is always using sweet words to flatter Srimati Radharani. Govinda is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rather, his qualification is that he is always following Srimati Radharani's orders. Whatever she wants him to do, he must follow. This is Govinda. Actually, yeah, they usually sing the, all those Chintamani Prakarasad Masukalpa Vriksha. They usually sing that with my Gurudev. I remember in Mathura. Anyways, it's already 8 o'clock, 8:07, so I'm just going to continue on. But Srila Maharaj then quoted verses from Brahma Samhita, such as Yad Bhava Bhavita Diyo Manujasataiva Samprapya Rupa Mahimahasana Yana Bhusha Shuktaryam Eva Shuktaryam Eva Nigama Pratitaistuvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with devotion sing the mantra shuktas told by the Vedas by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments. Huh? I didn't actually understand that totally. Let's see. Yad bhava bhavita dhiyo. I offer my humble obeisances to the lotus feet of Govinda, the hearts of whose devotees are overwhelmed by various kinds of bhavs towards him. Someone may have sakya bhav, someone vatsalya, and someone else may have madhurya bhav. All the acharyas in our sampradaya have the mood that I am the maidservant of Srimati Radharani, and it is from the vantage point of this mood that we look at Govinda. Mahimashana generally means asana, sitting place. But here, asana means Vrajabhumi. Vrajabhumi is the only sitting place of Govinda. And greater than Vraj is Radha Kund, which is the highest sitting place of the divine couple. Still greater is Srimati Radharani's bhav, which is the only asan for Krishna Chandra, Govinda. Krishna always desires to be situated in Radharani's bhav. Those who are overwhelmed by the moods of our sampradaya, thus performing this type of bhajan to Govinda, can attain the highest perfection very quickly. Wow. So this verse can be an indication of Sachinandan Gaur Hari even. Mahimasanayana Bhusha. Wow. Really amazing. Okay. Srila Maharaj then spoke about bhav. He said that there are 11 types of bhav revealed by the Guru when a disciple is entering bhav bhakti. When a sambandha, relationship, vayas, age, nam, name, rupa, personal form and beauty, 5, yutta, group, 6, vesh, or dress, 7, agya, specific instruction, vasa, residence, seva, exclusive service, 10, parakashta swas, the highest summit of emotion, which is the aspirant's very life breath, and 11, palya dasi bhav, the sentiment of being a maidservant under the protection of Srimati Radhika. There are also 5 dasas, there are also 5 dashas, stage of advancement approaching the stage of perfection. This is explained in Jaiva Dharma, and those who really desire to do bhajan will attain these 11 types of moods and 5 dashas. Yam krama krodha sahaja pranayadi bhuti. Isn't it bhiti? That is bhiti. Sorry, I need to check this out. I'm too curious. Yam krama krodha sahaja pranayad. I must have been saying it wrong this whole time. Yeah, it is bhiti. I was right. Okay, sorry. Oops. Okay. So yam krodha kama sahaja pranayadi bhiti vatsalya moha guru gaurava sevya bhavai sanchittatasya sadrishim tanura purete govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship the primeval Lord Govinda, the meditators of whom, by meditating upon him under the sway of wrath, amorous passion, natural friendly love, fear, parental affection, delusion, reverence, and willing service, attain to bodily forms befitting the nature of their contemplation. It's 55th verse, Brahma Samhita. Here, Brahmaji is giving us encouragement. Whoever serves Govinda and adheres to any of these types of moods in relation to Krishna, such as krodha, anger, kama, amorous desire, sahaja pranay, natural friendly love, whatever, and so forth, will one day attain perfection. Different people have different types of relationships with Krishna, and through this relation, they attain him. Brahma says in this verse that one who comes to Krishna must one day attain perfection. There is no doubt about it. The type of Shraddha one has in his heart determines what type of perfection he ultimately attains. What's this one? Oh, something my Gurudev would always have us do, like the main one that he would have us do is the Mangala Gitam, Shruta Kamala Kuchamandala. Maybe we can sing that at the end. And there's on purebhakti.com, there's so many different explanations by my Gurudev on this song. I once compiled them all together, like to make it kind of like a commentary, like under each verse. I got all the different explanations. But anyhow, maybe we can sing this, we can end with this. And we didn't sing Radhe Jai Jai Madhava Dayate, so we can end with Mangala Gitam and Radhe Jai Jai Madhava Dayate. But yeah, there's one, what is it? A Janmāṣṭami glorification of Srimati Radharani or something like that. That's the title. And it goes, my Gurudev goes through this Mangala Gitam, but he explains all the verses in relation to Srimati Radhika, which is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Here he's explaining in relation mostly to Krishna, I think. Oh, wait. Anyhow, let's move on to, oh, actually, I just remembered something. Let me see if I can find it. But on GurudevMemories.com, we once posted an article by Śrīla Gurudeva that he wrote in it in one of the old Bhagavad Patrikas. Might have been even from the 60s or 70s, but yeah. But it was really neat glorification. Let me just see if I can find it here. The real Seva. I think it was later on. No, this is it. Yes, Anuja. Bhagavatam proof that Śrī Kṛṣṇa is the son of Yashoda. Yeah, so we'll do more kirtans after I read a bit. Okay, actually, oh, this is a letter to Umadidi, not an article in Bhagavad Patrika. So this is Śrī Kṛṣṇa Gaudiya Math, Mathura, UP, 15 September 1983. This is penned in Bengali to Umadidi. Shri Shri Vaishnav Charane Dandavanati Purvakeyam. First of all, I offer my Dandava obeisances at the feet of the Vaishnavas. Ma Uma, know that my blessings are with you and convey the same to your mother and Gargi Didi. I came to know all the news from your letter dated 28th July 1983. I became happy to know that the Shri Shri Rathayatra festival there at Śrī Kṛṣṇa Math was completed successfully. I have become happier to know that the 2 cows at the Math have started giving milk for the service of the deity. At present, Premananda's health is generally good, and he does not need an operation. Shubhananda, that's Tirthamaraj, is doing his Sanskrit and Shastra studies nicely. Everyone else is basically well. Here in Mathura Math, Śrī Janmāṣṭami, Nandotsav, and Śrī Radhāṣṭami have been accomplished well, with a special festiveness. Regarding your questions, the meaning of the Srimad Bhagavatam statement about Kamsa killing all the children born within the last 10 days or slightly more, in accordance with the advice of his ministers, is as follows. 1. Kamsa proclaims that children born within the last 10 days must be killed. Moreover, even those born 2 to 4 days before that must also be killed. So in other words, the children born in the last 10 days, or even 2 to 4 days before or after, are all to be slain. 2. After hearing the aerial voice, Kamsa's ministers speculatively concluded that Devaki had given birth to a child the night before. Therefore, by killing all children born within the last 10 to 12 days, Kamsa's enemy, Krishna, would also certainly be killed. In this way, the demons' considerations are based on their gross intelligence. They have no policy to accept a one-pointed conclusion. 3. The word Anuja refers to the female child that is born after the first child, either male or female, from the same parents. Okay, so the word Anuja refers to the female child that is born after the first child, either male or female, from the same parents. And she is thus known as the Anuja, the younger sister of the first child. In special cases, such as when a man has 2 wives, a female child born from one wife after a child is born from the other wife can also be called the Anuja of his first child. But when 2 brothers, such as Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev, have 2 different wives, Yashoda and Devaki, respectively, the female child born from one wife after the child is born from the brother's wife cannot be called Anuja. So here's a note from the editors. In other words, by Srila Vyasadev's referring to Yogamaya, also known as Ekanangsha, as Anuja in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.4.9, Adrishya Tanuja Vishnu, he proves that she must be the younger sister of Krishna, born of Yashoda and Nanda Baba. She is not the younger sister, the Anuja, a four-armed Krishna who manifested before Nanda Baba's brother Vasudeva and Vasudev's wife Devaki. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.9 shows that Yogamaya was born to Yashoda. O all-auspicious Yogamaya, I shall then appear with my full 6 opulences as the son of Devaki, and you will appear as the daughter of Mother Yashoda, the queen of Maharaj Nanda. And in 10.3.37, Srimad Bhagavatam, thereafter, exactly when Vasudeva, being inspired by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was about to take the newborn child from the delivery room, Yogamaya, the Lord's spiritual energy, took birth as the daughter of the wife of Maharaj Nanda. Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj states in his purport on Srimad Bhagavatam, this is still the editor's footnote, by the way, obviously. But yeah, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Prabhupada states in his purport on Srimad Bhagavatam 10.5.1, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur desires to prove with evidence from many shastras that Krishna actually took birth as the son of Yashoda before the birth of Yogamaya, who is therefore described as the Lord's younger sister. And in his purport on 10.4.9, the word Anuja, meaning the younger sister, is significant. When Vishnu or Krishna took birth from Devaki, he must have simultaneously taken birth from Yashoda also. Otherwise, how could Yogamaya have been Anuja, the Lord's younger sister? Wow, so even Srila Prabhupada himself says that Krishna is born from Yashoda, right here. Because lots of times Srila Prabhupada refers to Krishna as the foster child of Nanda and Yashoda. But here Srila Prabhupada is saying that he must have simultaneously taken birth from Yashoda also. So yeah, that's really cool. All right, that's the end of the footnote. Therefore, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and other commentators have stated that only Yogamaya, born from the womb of Yashoda, is Krishna's Anuja. What else should I write? Know my blessings. Thus I conclude, Vaishnav Das Anudas, Śrī Bhakti Vedanta Narayan. And, there's a footnote here. The daughter born to Vasudeva and Devaki was Subhadra Devi. Therefore, she is the Anuja of four-armed Krishna. All right. That's neat, though, huh? Some further evidence. I never heard this explanation before I saw this letter. All right, so yes, Prajunaru, I did see that. I shared it on my Facebook page. Okay, what are we doing? Okay, so yeah, you want to go through this. This is Secret Truths of the Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm just going to keep on reading stuff for however long, I'm not going to... How come it's not opening? My computer's acting really strange right now. And it froze. What the heck? Let's see, is it here in downloads? Gosh darn it. My computer's been acting really strange all day today. Let's try to open this in preview. There, that's better. So these were all classes that my Gurudev gave in Badger in what year? I don't even know. I think it's 1998 or 2000. No, 90. Yeah, 98. I think. Anyhow, inquiry by the sages. I meditate on the absolute truth. Now I want to begin my classes. I will start by explaining the first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, and gradually I will come to the sweet pastimes of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam states that once, at the very beginning of Kali Yuga, Many hundreds of thousands of Maharshis and devotees assembled at a very pious place called Naimisharanya. They were thinking how to save the world from the effects of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is such an area that people quarrel among themselves for absolutely no reason. Husband and wife, father and son, mother and daughter, brother and sister, and neighbors. Although there is no cause, still everyone quarrels. Kali Yuga creates such misunderstanding that quarrel is bound to happen, even with our own mind and soul. Therefore, these Maharshis and devotees were thinking about what to do. At that time, Ugrashrava Sutta, the son of Ramaharshan and a direct disciple of Śrīla Shukadeva Goswami, was inspired by Baladev Prabhu himself to come to Naimisharanya. All of the realized devotees present, like Shaunak and others, showed him respect and inquired from him as follows. This kirtan is really distracting outside. I need to close my...
Okay. So he said,
Sutta Goswami, you are completely free from all vice. The reason why I'm reading this, by the way, is because this chapter, my Gurudev explains many reasons for why Krishna appeared. So, respected Sutta Goswami, you are completely free from all vice. You are well versed in all the scriptures, famous for religious life, you are well versed in all the scriptures famous for religious life, and in the Puranas and the histories as well. For you have gone through them under proper guidance and have also explained them. O Sutta Goswami, being the eldest learned Vedantist, you are acquainted with the knowledge of Vyasadeva, who is an incarnation of Godhead, and you also know other sages who are fully versed in all kinds of physical and metaphysical knowledge. And because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you with all the favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us all that you have scientifically learned from them. Please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. There are many varieties of scriptures, and in all of them, there are many prescribed duties, which can be learned only after many years of study in their various divisions. Therefore, O sage, please select the essence of all these scriptures and explain it for the good of all living beings, that by such instruction, their heart may be fully satisfied. Yayatma Suprasiddhiti. That's Srimad Bhagavatam, first chapter, first canto, verses 6 to 11. The sages told Sri Sutta Goswami, you are so learned and a disciple of Śrīla Shukadeva Goswami himself. You know the essence of all Shastra, and you are perfect. We therefore have some questions for you. Now that Kali is coming, what should we do? Yenatma Suprasiddhati. How can our souls be happy? By what process can less intelligent persons, with little time, a short duration of life, and so many problems, difficulties, and sorrows, make their souls pleased? You are very learned and qualified. We believe in you, and we believe that by reciting the pastimes of Krishna, you will certainly save us from the effects of Kali Yuga. We know that nothing else but the very sweet and powerful pastimes of Krishna can save all people from Kali Yuga. Sutta Goswami became happy with the questions of the sages, thanked them for their words, and then began to answer them by speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. Sutta Goswami had heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Śrīla Shukadeva Goswami, who had heard it from Sri Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva began this literature with the following shloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmādasya Tonvayaditarachashcharteshvabhegya Swarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Mohyanti Yatsuraya Tejovari Mridamyata Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mirsha Dhamna Sena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. O my Lord, Śrī Kṛṣṇa, son of Vasudeva, all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion. As one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire or land seen in water, only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. Mangalacharan. First of all, I should pray to my spiritual master, then I will begin to explain the Bhagavatam. And we already said all these pranam mantras at the beginning of this reading, so I'm not going to read them again. I'm not going to do them again. So my Gurudev says, try to hear very patiently, with deep honor, and try to understand. Do not do any work during this class. Allow your minds to be controlled by my words. Give up all other activities like sleeping or anything else, and give me your ears, your hands, and all your senses, only for a couple of minutes. Afterwards, you are free to do as you like. Do not sleep and do not yawn. Sleepiness may come, but try to control it. Sit straight so that sleep will not come. You should hear very patiently and with all your energy. Janmādasya yataha, the primeval cause of all causes, of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. Śrīla Vyasadeva is offering pranam, obeisances. To whom? He does not actually say the name of Śrī Kṛṣṇa, but all the symptoms of the worshipable object of his pranam apply only to Śrī Kṛṣṇa. To which Krishna? Not the Krishna of Mathura or Dwarka, but to that Krishna who is the source of all others, Nanda Nandan Krishna, Yashoda Nandan Krishna, Rajendra Nandan Shyam Sundar. All other manifestations of Krishna are included within him. Why Krishna descends. Why did Krishna descend to this world? The first reason is that Prithvi Devi, Mother Earth in the form of a cow, along with the demigods, went to Brahma, the creator. Actually, Brahma is only the external creator of this world. He is like a manager. Prithvi told him, recently my 4 legs were broken and I cannot walk. My husband, Dharma, religion personified, who has taken the shape of a bull, also cannot walk. Nowadays, there is so much sin in the world. Both men and women are like animals. So-called saintly persons and sannyasis do not observe the rules of saintly life, and therefore more wretched than animals. They make an artificial show of saintliness with big neck beads, 5-kilo japamala, and a very big tilak. At the same time, they are always duplicitous, absorbed in making money, and full of lust. Because of this, we have so many problems. Prithvi said, please save me, my husband, Dharma. Brahma became very worried and went with Prithvi and the demigods to Kshira Samudra, the ocean of milk. There he began to do aradhana, prayerful worship of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. In his trance, he heard the reply to his prayers. I already know of this situation. My Prabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, is also aware, and he will quickly descend. All the demigoddesses in the form of earthly ladies should descend to earth, to Gokul, Vrindavan, and Mathura. All you demigods should descend in the form of Gopas and Yadus. Krishna will appear very soon. This is one reason for Krishna's descent. Second, the time had come to establish the Yuga Dharma. What was the Yuga Dharma at that time? Deity worship. Yavanas and others were destroying temples. People had no faith in the deities, and the standard of worship was the worst it had ever been. In order to save the situation, Krishna appeared in this world, bringing with him the Yuga avatar, the Manvantar, and all other incarnations like Narayan, Ram, Nrsimha, Kalki, and Vaman. There were also other reasons for Krishna's descent. Jaya and Vijay had been cursed to come to this world for 3 births as demons. Now, in their 3rd birth, they would become Shishupal and Dantavakra. Krishna had to come to liberate them. Moreover, Krishna came to fulfill the promises he had made in his form of Ramachandra. Rama went to Dandakaranya forest with Sita and Lakshman to carry out the orders of his father. There, he dressed as a sadhu. Although his hair was jata, matted, he was so beautiful, a teenager of about 16 years. At that time, 60,000 sages were performing aradhana, service and meditation to Radha Krishna conjugal, to Ram, or to others by mantra. They had been chanting Gopal mantra, that is, Gopi Jana Vallabhaya Swaha, for thousands of years. During that long period of time, although the practices of these sages were somewhat weak, they did not become like fish, which die as soon as they are taken out of water. Their practices were much superior to yours, but still, in comparison to the highest level, they were somewhat weak. Your practices are very weak. Sometimes you chant your Gayatri mantra, and sometimes you do not. Sometimes you sit awake to chant, and sometimes you fall asleep. If you think about all your problems instead of concentrating on the mantras, your chanting of mantras will be like 0, and you will fall asleep. At that time, big problems will come quickly. So, these sages were performing their somewhat weak practices, but when they saw Ram, and he glanced upon them, they became inspired and began to pray to him, "Please fulfill our desires." Ram knew that they wanted to serve Radha Krishna conjugal, and that they wanted to participate in Ras and other Leelas. He therefore kindly and mercifully told them, "In my next birth, I will be Krishna, and there in Vraj, by the help of Yogamaya, you will take birth from the womb of a gopi. At that time, you can meet with me, and I will fulfill your desires." The sages continued with their practices for a very long time, from the appearance of Ram to the appearance of Krishna, hundreds of thousands of yugas. Do not think that in a moment you can get pure bhakti as easily as you get ladus and rasgullas. "Oh, Guru Maharaj, you gave me the mantras, but still I haven't realized that I am in Goloka and Vrindavan. I want to be in Vrindavan now." Valmiki Rishi took initiation from Narad, engaged in very severe austerities for 60,000 years, and then became self-realized. But you do not want to follow all these things, like chanting your mantras. Srila Swami Maharaj gave you some initiation into the Gayatri mantra. For 1 day, 2 days, 1 month, or for some years you practiced, but after that you became weak. Especially after his departure, you left your chanting. You have no faith in these mantras. You will have to practice them. It may be that it will take 2, 3, 4, 5, or so many births. But our good fortune is that in this Kali Yuga, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to sprinkle his mercy. We can therefore chant with some hope that very soon we will become realized souls. So do not worry. Go on practicing like the Dandakaranya rishis. When Krishna descended, these rishis took birth from the womb of the gopis, and they also became gopis. Later, they worshipped the demigoddess Katyayani for a long time in order to get Krishna as their husband. Krishna then came and their desires were fulfilled. It was for this reason also that he descended. In the same way, this process will bear fruit for you, but you must do one-pointed Krishna bhajan, engaging in all the practices of bhakti. There is yet another reason for Krishna's descent. When Ram went to Janakpuri, the Rajakumaris, the princesses, became charmed to see him. When they saw that Sita was married to him, they developed a very strong desire. "Oh, if Ram would also marry us, it would be so good. We want Ram to become our husband. We will not marry anyone else." With this determination, they never married. Ram was pleased and told them, "You will take birth in Dwapar Yuga from the womb of a gopi." Many years later, Ramachandra ordered Sita to leave his palace. She left and lived alone in Valmiki's ashram, where she gave birth to Ram's twin sons. Ram stayed in his palace and Sita stayed in the forest. For certain reasons, the king had left his queen, but Ram never left his dear Sita. And so, Ram in his capacity as a king left his queen, but really, Ram never actually left Sita. Although he remained in his palace, he always remembered her. His days passed with great difficulty. Ram felt so much separation that sometimes he would speak with his guru and priest, Vasishtha. Once, Ram requested Vasishtha, "I want to perform a fire sacrifice, an Ashwamedha yagya, or any other yagya. Please allow me to do this." Vasishtha replied, "Because you have left your wife, you cannot perform any type of sacrifice. You should bring her back and sit beside her. Only then can you do it." "That cannot be," Ram told him. "Please make another arrangement so that I can perform the sacrifice." "Your father married 360 wives, so you can also marry again. I think that there are many beautiful ladies in the world who would want to marry you. They would readily marry you." "No," said Ram, "I cannot marry anyone else." "Then you cannot perform the sacrifice." "Please somehow arrange it," Ram insisted. Vasishtha then said, "You can make a golden statue of Sita. With that Sita, you can sit and perform the sacrifice." Each following year, Ram had one murti of Sita made. These deities were installed by mantra by both Vasishtha and Ram himself. By their invocation, these deities actually became alive. In Rama's last days, just before his pastimes in this world came to a close, and he was about to go to Aprakat Ayodhya, his spiritual abode, all those deity forms of Sita came and told him, "We want to go with you and be with you forever." Ram replied, "In this incarnation, I can only accept one Sita. Only one Sita will remain with me. You are now so many. You should go to Vrindavan and take birth from the wombs of gopis. There I will manage everything and fulfill all your desires." So Krishna also came for that reason. Another cause of Krishna's coming was Shurpanaka, the sister of Ravan. She wanted to marry Ram, and because Ram is like a desire tree, he had to fulfill her desire. He did so by directly associating with her in her next birth in her form as Kubja. By mystic power, Shurpanaka was able to assume many beautiful forms and could allure many men. Ram considered, "Because I have accepted her in this life, no one else may marry her." He therefore ordered Lakshman to cut off her nose. Then in the next life she became Kubja, and 8 parts of her body were bent. Therefore in that life also no one married her. Her face was very beautiful, but her entire body was crooked and bent like a hunchback. But when Krishna touched her, she immediately became straight. At that time her wishes were fulfilled. For this reason also Krishna descended. Narad Muni was another cause of Krishna's descent. Once, during Narad's travels, he saw the 2 sons of Kuvera, Nala Kuver and Mani Griva. They were playing with many heavenly Apsara girls. They were as naked as trees and stones, drinking wine, and completely without shame. Upon seeing Narad coming along the path, the girls became ashamed. They folded their hands, covered themselves with garments, and prayed to Narad from afar. The 2 men, on the other hand, completely mad and intoxicated on wine, began abusing both the girls and Narad. They called out, "Why has this old man come here and disturbed everything?" Being very merciful, Narad thought, "They are the sons of my friend Kuvera." Narad was on his way to meet Kuvera, but when he saw Kuvera's sons so degraded, he thought, "I should punish them." He therefore cursed them. "You should become trees. You are behaving like trees, and so you should become trees." As soon as they understood, as soon as they understood, "Oh, we are going to be trees," they fell flat at Narad's lotus feet. What I have foretold will certainly come true, he told them. But you will become trees in Gokul, where Krishna will take his birth and perform so many sweet pastimes. He will touch you, and you will be liberated. Not only that, but you will also attain bhakti and become Krishna's transcendental associates forever. So Krishna also descended to fulfill Narad's foretelling. Krishna also came to perform Ras Leela. The personified Upanishad mantras had been performing austerities and chanting the Gopal mantra and Kam Gayatri mantra in order to become gopis. By their chanting, they became gopis in their next birth. They became known as the Upanishad Chari gopis, and Krishna accepted them as his beloveds. There are two types of devotees who, by chanting mantras and performing austerities, were accepted by Krishna. They are called Yotiki and Ayotiki, those who are in groups and those who are not. By this history, we see these mantras are very high class and powerful. Never neglect them. And let's just see the Yotiki and Ayotiki. In groups and not in groups. Let's see. The sadhan siddha gopis are of two types, Yotiki and Ayotiki. Practicing devotees who are completely enchanted by the loving moods of the gopis perform sadhan bhajan, following the path of spontaneous devotion, raganuga. Those who practice in groups and eventually take birth in Braj, where they again come together, are called Yotiki. And those who take birth in Braj having practiced solitary raganuga bhajan, or with one or two others, are called Ayotiki. The Yotiki gopis are also of two types, Shruti-chari, the personified Vedas, and Muni-chari, or Rishi-chari, the Dandakaranya sages. Seeing the fortune of the gopis performing Ras Leela and other pastimes with Krishna, the Shruti-charis were struck with wonder. By engaging in severe austerities with great faith, they achieved birth in the homes of the gopis in Braj. Then, by the influence of the association of Nityasiddha and Kaya Vyuha gopis, they easily entered the Ras dance and other pastimes. That's from Venu Geet, verse 4, Ananda Vardhini Vyakya, my Guru's commentary. Once, Krishna and Arjuna were out traveling. Krishna said, "O Arjuna, I am so thirsty. Bring water from somewhere." While looking for water, Arjuna saw some birds going toward the Yamuna. Upon reaching the Yamuna, he saw that she was flowing very sweetly, and her water was very pure and clear. He also saw an old lady with white hair who was in trance. He circumambulated the lady and offered pranam to her. After some time, she returned to external consciousness. Arjuna then asked her, "Mother, who are you, and why are you meditating in this place? No one is here. What are you doing here on the bank of the Yamuna?" The lady replied respectfully, I have been doing aradhana, worship here, for hundreds and thousands of years. I want to be a gopi in Vrindavan and serve Radha and Krishna conjugal. Narad kindly gave me Gopal mantra and Kam Gayatri, so I have been worshipping here with these mantras. Arjuna returned to Krishna and told him what had happened. Krishna then went to the elderly lady and mercifully blessed her. These are some of the reasons for Krishna's descent to this world. There are so many stories and so many reasons that it would take about 10 days to explain them all. And then my Gurudev goes on to explain the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which has many different meanings. It's in relation to to Krishna, then Radha Krishna together, and then Sachinandan Gaura Hari. And yeah, so many different deep explanations. I wonder if in here, in Secret Truths of the Bhagavatam, if he tells about Krishna's appearance. Let me just search the word birth. Birth. Anyways. No, I don't see it. Okay, no problem. Oh, wait. Anyways, doesn't matter. Alright, so let's go back to purebhakti.com. Maybe we should do another kirtan now. Yeah, let's do Mangala Gita now. So I'm going to just close this window. Janmāṣṭami glorification of Śrī Radha. Rup Manjari, I was at these classes as a child. Okay, so let's read this first and then we can sing the song. Śrī Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Mathura, India, 20th August 2003. Janmāṣṭami glorification of Śrī Radha. Before speaking about Śrī Krishna's glories on Janmāṣṭami, Śrīla Gurudeva leads the assembled devotees in singing Śrī Jayadev Goswami's bhajan, Śrī Mangala Gitam. He says that because today is Krishna's appearance day, we should begin by first of all singing this kirtan. Śrīla Maharaj then explains the deep meaning of the bhajan. So yeah, we'll read the explanation first and then we'll sing it. Śrī Jayadev Goswami's kirtan, Śrī Mangala Gitam, glorifies Bhagavan Śrī Krishna, but moreover, it indicates the glories of Srimati Radhika. This is because Lord Krishna's highest glories are not manifested without his being in her association. This kirtan begins, Shrita Kamala Kucha Mandala Dhrita Kundalaye. Shrita Kamala Kucha Mandala means that Krishna is taking shelter at the breast of Srimati Radhika. And this is because of what happens to him at the moment he sees her. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati describes how simply upon seeing her, and by the influence of her Mahabhav, Lord Krishna's flute falls from his hands, his peacock feather falls to the ground, his pitambar slips down, and he himself begins to faint. At that time, he is taking shelter at the breast of Srimati Radhika. Regarding this verse, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati prays, when will I perform a rasa upasana of that very Srimati Radhika? Rasa upasana means rendering service to Shri Radha Krishna by following in the footsteps of Sri Rupa Manjari and Rati Manjari. In this verse, at the time of his leaving home to go cowherding, Krishna sees Srimati Radhika from afar, and he begins to faint. Madhu Mangal catches him and says, "Oh, my friend, what are you doing? Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba can see you." Dhrita Kundala. Why does it say Dhrita Kundala are Shri Krishna's kundala, earrings? The ornaments or beauty that decorate his ears are Srimati Radhika's very beautiful words. Hearing the sound of her sweet voice, Krishna's flute falls to the ground. So those are Krishna's real earrings, are the words that enter his ears. So beautiful. Kalita Lalita Vanamala. Kalita Lalita means extremely attractive and beautiful. Krishna wears a very beautiful vanamala, garland of forest flowers. A question arises as to who made this garland. And the answer is that Srimati Radhika herself has made it and placed it around his neck. Jaya Jaya Deva Hare. Jaya is sung twice. Jaya is sung twice here. Therefore, there are two meanings. Jaya Jaya Deva Hare means all glories to the beloved worshipful deity of Śrī Jayadev Goswami. And it also means, may that Bhagavan Śrī Krishna, who is glorified by this song, be victorious. And the second meaning, all glories to that Śrī Kṛṣṇa, is sung twice for emphasis. Jai Jai. Mahaprabhu is always in Srimati Radhika's mood. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always in Srimati Radhika's mood. But when he heard this song, his mood at once changed to that of Śrī Kṛṣṇa. At that time, he wanted to embrace the singer, thinking that she may be Srimati Radhika, or Srimati Lalita Devi, or Vishaka Devi. Therefore, when he was checked by his servant Govinda, he embraced him and said, "I was about to return to my mood and nature as Krishna, but you checked me. If you had not done so, I would have lost the purpose for which I came in this form, and also everyone would know that I am Krishna. You have saved me." This is the first meaning. And in the second, Lord Chaitanya is telling Govinda, "You saved me. If you had not done so, if I had touched that woman, I would have then jumped in the river and drowned there." In this way, there are two very good and deep meanings. Many sannyasis, those in the renounced order, give up their sannyas because they like to associate with ladies. They rationalize their activities by saying, "So many ladies come to me, what can I do? They come automatically without my invitation." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not listen to these arguments, so you should be very careful. If a lady comes to you with a spirit of enjoyment, slap her and speak harshly to her. I am very strict about this. Although I am very polite by nature, in these matters I am very strict. I cannot tolerate this. Girls should be especially careful regarding their motives for coming here. They sometimes come to pick up brahmacharis or sannyasis, and I have warned them not to come for this. They should only come to hear harikathā, and they should be very strong in their Krishna consciousness. They should come to develop love and affection, like the gopis have, for Krishna, by first having love and affection for Guru and real Vaishnavas. I request you all, sannyasis, brahmacharis, and girls, to be very careful in this regard. I have so much affection for my daughters, but I want to be very strict with them. Bhavakandana. Bhava means the coming and going in the endless cycle of birth and death, and suffering in this material world. Kandana. For those in this world, Śrī Kṛṣṇa puts an end to all sorrows and sufferings in the cycle of birth and death. The gopis of Vrindavan, however, have a different kind of suffering. For them, suffering means separation from Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Srimati Radhika and the gopis feel great separation from him, and he puts an end to that suffering. At the time of their separation, he manifests to them in the form of a spurti, a vision, or in person, and relieves them from the fire of separation. Muni Jana Mana Sahangsa. Krishna Bhagavan is the swan who plays in the lake of the minds of munis, like Sri Narad Muni, Śrīla Shukadeva Goswami, and of course, Śrīla Jayadeva Goswami, who is not less than Narad Muni or Sri Shukadeva Goswami. At the end of the kirtan, Śrīla Jayadeva Goswami prays, Idam kurute mudam. Mudam means overjoyed. He prays, "May all the worlds become auspicious and overjoyed." He prays to Bhagavan Śrī Kṛṣṇa on behalf of all the people in the world to manifest within their hearts the transcendental pastimes described in this kirtan. He is very merciful, just as Śrīla Rupa Goswami who prayed, Anarpita charim charat karunaya vatirna kalo samarpaitum unato jala rasam sabhakti shriyam hari purata sundara duti kadam vasandipita sada hridaya kandare spurato vasachinandana. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 1:4. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. Śrīla Rupa Goswami did not pray for himself. He prayed that Sriman Mahaprabhu will kindly manifest in the hearts of everyone. Vaishnavas are causelessly merciful. They pray to Krishna on behalf of all the jivas. In conclusion, Śrīla Jayadeva Goswami is saying Mangala Ujjvala Gitam, which means that this song is full of Unata Ujjvala Ras, the transcendental Parakiya rasa of Mahabhav Sarupini Srimati Radhika. Pleasing Shri Shri Radha Krishna. Srila Maharaj then requested the assembled devotees to chant Sri Jayadev Goswami's Sri Dashavatar Stotram. At the end of the kirtan leader chanted Jaya Dasha Avatar, Jaya Dasha Avatar. All glories to the 10 avatars, incarnations of Lord Krishna. Śrīla Gurudeva, don't sing this ending. This song is not the glorification of the 10 avatars. Keshava Drita Dasha Vidarupa. This is a glorification of Keshava, Krishna Chandra, Shama Sundar, and Brajendra Nandan. You can sing instead Jaya Dasha Avatari, Jaya Dasha Avatari, Dasha Avatari, Jaya Dasha Avatari. All glories to that Sri Krishna Bhagavan, who is the origin of all these avatars. That's why I usually go, when I sing this, the Dasha Avatar Stotram, I usually go Jaya Dasha Avatari, Jaya Krishna Chandra, Dasha Avatari, Jaya Krishna Chandra. That's what I usually do. Okay, so the devotees then chanted the kirtans Sri Nandanandanashtakam and Sri Radha Kripa Kataksha Stavaraj, as they do every year on this day. Yeah, so we already did that. We probably should have sang Mangala Gitam first, huh? Anyhow, I was just following that other class. Yeah, and here my Gurudev gives another explanation of those songs, but I'm not going to read that now because it's already 9 o'clock. Oh my God. We've been reading for 2 hours, almost. Okay, so thanks, Rukmini, for sharing the link to this class. Okay, so let's do Mangala Gitam now. Mangala Gitam. There. So what melody should we do? There are 2 melodies you can sing this. There's just the normal one, which devotees usually sing. Shita Kamala Kucha Mandala Drita Kundala E Kalita Lalita Vanamala Jai Jai Deva Hari. There's that melody. Or there's also the Oriya melody, like Muni Maharaj would sing. Shita Kamala Kucha Mandala Drita Kundala Kalita Lalita Vanamala Jaya Jaya Deva Hare. So yeah, let me know which one. I'll sing whatever one you guys want. Meanwhile, I will make the text big. Okay, let's see. Which one should I do? Second. Okay, you got it. Champak Didi. Okay. Let me get the madanga. Shitaka. Yeah. Shitaka mala kucha mandala drita kundala drita kundala kalita lalita vanamala Jaya Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Dinamani Mandala Mandana Bhavakandana Bhavakandana Muni Jana Manasa Hamsa Jaya Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Kaliya Vishadhara Ganjana Ranjana Ranjana Jana Ranjana Jadukula Nalina Dinesha Jaya Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Madhu Mora Narakavi Nashana Garudashana Garudashana Surakola Kevinidana Jaya Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Ayamala Kamala Dala Lochana Hari Amala Kamala Dala Lochana Bhavamochana Bhavamochana Tribhuvana Pavana Nidana Jaya Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Janaka Sutta Krita Pushana Jitatushana Jitatushana Samarashamita Dashakanta Jaya Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Abhinava Jaladhara Sundara Hari Abhinava Jaladhara Sundara Hari Abhinava Jaladhara Sundara Dhritamandara Dhritamandara Shrimukha Chandra Chakora Dhritamandara Radha Mukha Chandra Chakora Jaya Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Tava Charane Pranatavaya Tava Charane Pranatavaya Iti Bhavaya Iti Bhavaya Kuru Kushalam Pranateshu Jaya Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Shri Jaya Deva Kaverida Hari Shri Jaya Deva Kaverida Kurute Moda Kurute Moda Mangala Mojala Gita Jaya Jaya Deva Hare 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 Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Deva Hare. There's so many things to sing today, my God. Should we just do more kirtan? Let's do more kirtan, huh? Let's do Dhammarashtakam. That's one of the all-time favorites. Damodarashtakam. I'm not going to read the translation though now because it's getting too late. And so I think everybody's familiar with the meaning of this song, right? More or less. Namamishwaram Sachirananda Rupam La Satkunda La Gokule Praja Mana Ayashoda Giyo Lokha Ladhavamanam Paramrishtamadam Tatadrutago Ramamishwaram Sachirananda Rupam La Satkunda Gokule Prajama Rodanta Murnetra Jugmamrit Janta Karam Bhoja Yugmena Asatanka Netra Mohushvasa Kampa Trirekhanka Katha Stita Graivada Bodhar Bhakti Namamishwaram Sachirananda Rupam Sakunda Gokule Prajakama Iti Swali Labhi Ananda Kunde Swagoshani Manjanta Magyapaya Tadiyeshi Targesho Bhattarjitatva Puna Prematasta Shatavitiva Varam Deva Moksham Namokshavar Dimva Nachanyam Vrineha Varesharapiha Idam Te Vapurnata Gopala Bala Sada Me Manasya Virastam Tema Namamishwaram Sachirananda Rupam La Satkunda La Gokule Prajama Oidam Te Mukham Bhojama Vyaktanilai Vritam Kuntalashnika Raktascha Gopya Mohusham Vitam Bimbarakta Dharane Manasya Virastam Palam Lakshana Ramamishwaram Sachirananda Rupam Lasakundalam Gokule Prajama Namadeva Damo Tarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukajala Dimagna Kripa Dishti Vrishyati Dinam Patanu Vihanishama Magyate Dakshidesh Ramamishwaram Sachirananda Rupam Lasakundalam Gokule Prajama Kuveratmajo bhaktim svakame prayacha namokshe graho esti damodare Rama Visharam Sachirananda Rupam Rasa Kundalam Kule Rajapam O Namaste Stutame Spuradipti Dhame Tvadyadayata Vishwasadame Namo Radhikayai Tvadiya Priyayai Namo Radhikayai Tvadiya Priyayai Namo Nantale Devayatu O Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya O Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nathalilaya Devaya Namo Nathalilaya Devaya Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, 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 Radha Damodara. Let's do. Wait, let me just see the comments really quick if there's anything. Okay, cool. Two people said audio melody. What about Radha Prarthana? That's such a beautiful prayer. Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Smera Hasa Murali Manohara. Let me just find it. I don't really know how to sing it, but I can probably put something together. I know the meter pretty much. Okay, I want to read the translation to this one though. Actually, to make this translation, I went to Vishnu Pandey in Mathura. I'm not sure if you saw, he recently passed away, but everybody was posting things about him. He's in the Vallabh Sampradaya, but he was very close to my Gurudev, very close, and very rasik, oh my God. And he was glorifying my Gurudev to me in like such a beautiful way. He knew my Gurudev's harikathā so well, I was surprised. He must have gone to many of my Gurudev's classes in Mathura but yeah, he was very senior. My Gurudev was in Mathura since, the 50s. And so he was one of the people, I think, that was, had many years of association with my Gurudev. And so, yeah, I went to him because I was having a difficult time translating this. The thing is, I couldn't find any translation for it. I can't translate directly from Sanskrit. I don't know Sanskrit, but I couldn't find any Hindi or Bengali translation for this. So then I went to him and I recorded him explaining it. And so then I made the translation off of his explanation. So he says, if Śrī Radha is merciful to me, then unlimited obstacles to my devotion will be removed. There will be nothing superior for me to attain, because I will have received the excellence offered by the path of both. We wrote Vaidhi and Rag because that's what we're familiar with, but here you see it says Pushti and Maryada. Like in the Vallabh Sampradaya, that's their version of Pushti and Maryada. And if she speaks something while smiling gently, thereby revealing the brilliance of the rows of her beautiful pearl-like teeth, what significance will the oyster of liberation have? O Shyam Sundar, O you whose head is adorned with peacock feathers, whose face is graced with a laughing smile, whose murali flute enchants the mind, and who are most expert in relishing ras with Srimati Radhika. O ocean of mercy, please make me a kinkari, a maidservant, at the feet of your beloved. You are the lord of the life of the daughter of Rishabhanu Maharaj, and you are like a bee, always eager to taste the nectar of her lotus-like face. O Rasikendra Shekhar, foremost of those who are Rasik, who are situated at the feet of Srimati Radhika, I worship you. O son of the king of Braj, O all-pervading one, O Mohan, who enchants the minds of all, taking a piece of straw in my teeth, I pray that your supremely beloved Sri Radha be my dear, worshipful goddess, birth after birth. So this is by Vittalacharya, who was a contemporary of the Goswamis, right? Srivas was telling me, I have such a bad memory, but Srivas was telling me the whole, like while we were riding a bicycle. So God, I can't remember everything that he was saying, but he was talking about, he found some books in Bengali, and he was looking into the history of Vittalacharya and his relationship with who is it, with Raghunath Das Goswami or something. Anyways, you can see how Rasik his writing is also. But yeah, he was very much influenced by the Goswamis actually. It's a very interesting history. I have to ask Srivas to explain it to me again. But yeah. It's amazing though. Even Vallabh Sampradaya, they're praying like this. Kripayati adi radha badita shesha badha kim apara vishishtam pushti maryadayor me yadi vadati cha kinchit smeraha sodita shri dvijavaramani panktya mukti shuktya tadakim. Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekhara Smerahasa Murali Manohara Radhika Rasikama Kripa Nide Sapriya Charana Kinkare Guru Radhika Rasikama Kripa Nide Sapriya Charana Kinkare Guru Swapriya Charana Kinkare Guru Swapriya Charana Kinkare Guru Prananata Vrishabhanu Nandini Shri Mukhabchara Salola Shatpada Radhika Padatale Krita Stitim Tam Bhajami Rasikendra Shekhara Tam Bhajami Rasikendra Shekhara Samvidhaya Dashane Trinam Vibho Kartaye Praja Mahendra Nandana Astu Mohanatavati Vallabha Janma Janmani Marishvari Priya Janma Janmani Marishvari Priya O Janma Janmani Marishvari Priya. Isn't that so beautiful? All right, so I guess it's getting late now, and I want to sing a bunch of kirtans, but I think I gotta get on with my day. I have a lot of things to do. And maybe later on, because we didn't actually read about the pastime of Krishna's appearance, so maybe later on this evening, I will come back on, probably at 8 o'clock. Right now it's 9:23 a.m. India time. So at 8 p.m. So I guess what's that? That's like almost 10 and a half hours from now. I'll come back on and then we can read about Krishna. Krishna's appearance and Krishna's birth. Krishna's appearance in Mathura and Krishna's birth in Vrindavan. All right. Okay, Rup Manjari will sing Chora Gurganya Purushashtakam in the evening time. Okay? Yeah, I know. Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj, he would sing this one a lot, wouldn't he? I found out. Yeah, I really regret not having it in the Gaudiya Gita Gucha. Anyways, I will get it ready, that song, and then we can sing it in the evening. And for you, that will be Janmashtami, right? Right now, for all of you watching in the West, it's Akadashi. It's Janmashtami Eve right now, isn't it? All right, so let's do Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate, and then I'll sing Mahamantra. I mean, you all know the words to this. Let me just clean this. Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Damodara Rate Vardhanave She Hari Nishkutave Dave Pine She Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Vrishabhanudar Dinavashashile Ke Lalita Sake Guna Ramita Vishake Karuna Kurumai Karuna Bharite Sanapa Sanatana Varnita Chari Radhe Karuna Kurumai Karuna Bharite Sanapa Sanatana Varnita Charite Karuna Kurumai Karuna Bharite Sanapa Sanatana Varnita Charite Shirupa Sanatana Varnita Charite Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Nanda Nanda, Jaya Yashoda Nanda, Nanda Nanda, Jaya Yashoda Nanda, Jaya Nanda Nanda, Jaya Yashoda Nanda, Nanda Nanda, Jaya Yashoda Nanda, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Sachinandan, Jaya Gora Hare, Sachinandan, Jaya Gora Hare, Jaya Sachinandan, Jaya Gora Hare, Sachinandan, Jaya Gora Hare, Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, 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 Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki Jai. Śrī Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭami Mahamahotsav ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Shritarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Śrīla Gurudeva ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Shritarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Ashtatarashatashmad. Sorry, I spaced out. Let me just start over a little bit. I was thinking about things. God, I have to not do that. When I do Jadvani so much, I easily get into autopilot. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitya Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gorkshara Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. Nitya Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Śrīla Baldev Vijibhushan Prabhu ki Jai. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki Jai. Shri Nartam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Trai ki Jai. Śrīla Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shara Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai. Namachay Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय. श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय. सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जाय. श्री राधा कुंड श्यामा कुंड की जाय. श्री मुन देवी गंगा देवी की जाय. श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय. श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय. श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जाय. श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय. श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जाय. श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय. श्री ब्रजेंद्र नंदन श्याम सुंदर की जय. श्री कृष्ण जन्माष्टमी तिथि की जय. श्री नंद बाबा यशोदा माया की जय. श्री सर्वव्रजवासी गण की जय. श्री वृषभानु नंदिनी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय. श्री सर्व Rajavasi Gan ki jai, Shri Sarva Rajadevi Gan ki jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Gokul Mahavan ki jai, Shri Mathura Dham ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Padadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyai Vacha Patitanam Pavane Bhyo Vaishnave Bhyo Namo Namaha. Dao Bhaya ki jai, Shri Baladev Prabhu ki jai. Right. So I will see you in about 10 and a half hours from now. Right? I'm bad at math. I think so. Oh, and something. Okay, this is just an idea I have. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do this. So I'm not committing to anything. I'm not giving an announcement. I'm just sharing an idea I have. So since Rupa Goswami's disappearance day, I wanted to start reading Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And I've been trying to do that ever since. Like every day I tried it, but I just never get around to it. Because I have so many things to do in the day, and usually late at night I'm trying to like finish what I was supposed to do during the day. But I just haven't been disciplining myself to read every day Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which I really want to do. But the only way I'm able to read Srimad Bhagavatam every day is that I come online and I read it with all of you. That makes me have to come at a certain time every day. I have to stay accountable. So I'm thinking maybe I should read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu online every night at like maybe, I don't know, maybe 9 to 10 p.m. India time. But it's just an idea. So yeah, but would you like to study Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? And I probably won't be reading through it fast. I'll be going through it really slow and looking at different versions of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So it'd be like a slow study thing. And I'd like to learn shlokas from it also, like the most important shlokas as we go through it. So it'd be more of like a study thing rather than just a quick read through. But yeah, let me know if you would be into that. And if you would be, then maybe I will start that. All right, Haribo. Jai Shri Radhe, Dandavat Pranams. Jai Yashoda Maya ki Jai. Devaki Jai. Oh yeah, also Vasudev Maharaj, Devaki Maya ki Jai. Devaki Mata, Devaki Devi ki Jai. Haribo. Okay, Haribo, I'm ending it now. Jai Shri Radhe. Thanks for staying with me for so long. Thank you, Ganga Didi. Haribo.